is an honor to invite to the stage the Chief Executive Officer of THub, Mr. Srinivas Mahankali. Please join me in welcoming him for a special address that promises to inspire and enlighten.
First of all, thank you for taking time out to be part of this event. Sometimes people ask, why do you do this Foundation Day every year, right? I know we are right now in the middle of cricket fever, but I'm sure some of you are also F1 fans, right? And I'm going to try and draw an analogy between what we are doing today on the Foundation Day and an F1 race. So I'm sure all of you would have seen, this thing called a pit stop, which happens in F1 races, right? So the world record in F1 is by Red Bull, 1.91 seconds. Okay, 1.91 seconds. And in the 1.91 seconds, there are about 23 people who get together to refuel the vehicle, to change the tires, to fix any mechanical glitches, and so on, right? And there's a lot of teamwork, there's a lot of coordination, and there's, of course, speed, right? So a pit stop is also a good time for them to redefine race strategy, right? And a Foundation Day, the 8th Foundation Day, is for us a good time to reflect on what we have done in the past and what we want to do in the future. So that's the analogy. I hope, particularly for those of you who are F1 fans, I'm sure it will resonate. So first of all, it's been an amazing year. We've been here at this new facility for the last 15 to 16 months. It's been an amazingly incredible journey. Not every day is different in terms of whom we interact with, whom we solve problems for, be it a startup, be it a corporate, or be it a government. And first of all, I want to thank the government, my board, the ecosystem partners, the value partners, the mentors, and most importantly, the startups for giving us this opportunity to be of service to you, right? This is an opportunity not easily given, and we are extremely grateful for this opportunity to build a world-class innovation ecosystem. So as I reflect on the last year, I just thought I'll share with you some highlights of what we've done. And as one very famous entrepreneur, a gentleman called Narayan Murthy once said, in God we trust, rest all data. So I'm going to take refuge in that and share with you some data points about what we've been able to do in the last year or thereabouts. So in terms of the work we've done, we've ran 36 programs last year. We've had close to 188 startups whom we have nurtured through our programs. Cumulatively, they've raised a small amount of money, Raj, not as much as you have done. They've raised about 42 million so far. But again, you have to recall that many of them are very early stage, right? And I think what we've been able to do successfully is now build an ecosystem with over one of the things which I keep getting asked, and a question which, is how many unicorns have you generated? So first of all, I think the premise is a wrong question to ask, because our focus is working with early stage companies, working with them from zero to a pre-series A round one. I don't want to take refuge in that answer, but hopefully some of the companies whom we've supported, close to as I said, 36 companies which have raised close to 42 million, will over a period of time go on to become very large unicorns, and hopefully some of them will become unicorns. Now, we also work with a lot of startups who are not part of our programs, but we work with them. For example, in the defense area, we run a very successful program called IDEX. We also run several corporate engagements. And today, about 97 of our startups, we did a quick count, 97 of our startups in the last 15 months have raised close to $600 million of capital, right, through that. I'm also happy to share with you that some of you may be aware that we have a government-supported fund called T-Fund. In T-Fund, we invest fairly small stakes. We take typically a minority stake of between 1% to 2%. The amount of capital invested ranges between 25 lakhs to a crore. We've invested in about 7 startups, and I'm happy to say that 3 of the startups have gone on to raise a Series A round north of 3 million. Right? One of the focus areas for us at THub has been about creating market access for our startups, right? Because as any early stage founder will tell you, the hardest challenge for a no-name startup is to get in front of customers and engage and win business. So last year, we did 69 market access events, and close to 142 of our startups have been able to get to POC stage. 37 of them have actually got confirmed purchase orders from our customers. Right. Another important element in the work we do is about job creation. So obviously, as you know, THub is a Section 8 not-for-profit entity. Our focus is on obviously helping scale startups, etc. But a side effect or an important effect of that is around job creation. And the data we've compiled over the last 15 months, our startups have created 2,461 jobs. Okay. Another area where we focused on is many of our startups also look at how do they get early stage interns, entry-level jobs, etc. So we did 3 recruitment drives. The most recent one was about 3 weeks ago. We had 13,000 young people apply to about 94 of our startups, and 600 of them got internship opportunities. Yeah. Another parameter we measure is on revenue growth of our startups. And I'm happy to tell you, year on year, we again compiled data for the startups we worked with, which I referenced 188 of our startups. Cumulatively, they've been able to grow in revenue by $105 million. Right? Another important element in that, which I want to call out for our corporate partners, right? We are building an ecosystem here. This is about supporting startups. And as anyone who's built an entrepreneurial ecosystem will tell you, an entrepreneurial ecosystem requires startups, corporates, funding entities, academic entities, government, media, and research entities to work together. So from a corporate entity standpoint, I'm happy to share with you that the last year, after we moved into this wonderful new building, we've added several logos, both domestic and international, and I'll quickly reel out some names. Berkadia, which is a joint venture between Berkshire Hathaway and Jefferies Financial. Reckitt Benckiser, which you will know for Dettol. Infinity Learn, Bosch, the Aditya Birla Group. I want to also call out our first social impact incubation entity, which is the CARE Foundation. I have Manoj here. The Adani Group, Renault Nissan, etc. So this engagement with corporates gives startups lots of visibility, helps them get in front of them and get to a point where they get orders and paid POCs. We also have members from the defense here. I have Brigadier Inder Singh, I can see him here. So we run THub now today is India's second largest defense tech incubator. We've supported 33 startups, and they've competed for 42 defense challenges, right? So a lot of numbers. I know some of this may not necessarily resonate with all of you, but as I said, in God we trust, rest all data. Also a call out to our mentors. Many of our mentors, we have now a pool of about 175 mentors. Many of them are C-level executives, entrepreneurs. A lot of them do their work pro bono, silently. And I think they've done amazing work to support our startups. I want to call out our value partners. Many of them have again given a range of services from accounting, taxation, patenting, digital marketing, recruiting, etc. And some of them have given close to about $1 million of credit to our startups. Last but not least, I want to specially call out the support we've got from our consul generals from the UK. We're pleased to announce here that we've signed a program with Innovate UK. So 20 of the startups from the UK will be incubated at THub for a period of 2 years between India and the UK standpoint. We're also actively in conversation with our friends from Turkey to basically set up a technology transfer office to enable technology transfer between universities and industrial bodies in Turkey and in Hyderabad. And last but not least, the French embassy. We have the Consul General of France here, my friend Thierry. We are setting up a Bureau de France, which is to promote startup exchanges between India and Paris. Right, so that's up on the 6th floor. So in the last 1 year, very quickly, we've also, we have 2 banks working here. We have now active engagement with over 40 VCs. For those of you who have not been to THub recently, we've also opened an experience center. So this is where we are showcasing all that our startups are doing. The first phase of that has startups which are in the healthcare and medtech space. We are expanding that to cover all the other 30 areas which our startups are engaged in. So what lies ahead? So starting this month, we are launching a DST-funded AI/ML Center of Excellence. This is the first of its kind in India. We hope to have about 80 startups, and obviously close to about 40 of them will be in the Gen AI space. So we think there's an opportunity for Hyderabad, in conjunction with the TAIM mission, which has been done with NASSCOM, to become India's AI capital. Now, to come back to that question, which is how are we going to build an ecosystem to support and build up Sunicorns and Unicorns? So we are launching a program called T-Scale, which will be up and running by the end of this year. So we've identified 20 high-performing startups who we think, with the support of this extended ecosystem, which is corporates, government, funding entities, etc., can now scale to the next level, right? From a thematic standpoint, one area which we are going to focus on is going to be around climate tech, because clearly today sustainability is the need of the hour, and you're going to see a lot of action. There's also a conversation around partnering for a venture studio, which we'll talk about more when we are in a position to announce it. So the areas of focus for us will continue to be our core areas, which is health tech, enterprise tech, mobility, sustainability. We've also launched India's first semiconductor, cohort. We already have 15 startups which have worked in that space, whom we are supporting. So I'm going to close with a quote from my favorite poet, Rabindranath Tagore. I'm going to take the liberty of paraphrasing Tagore. So Tagore said, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. So I'm going to now twist it a little bit. I'm going to say, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where innovation is free, where entrepreneurs are nurtured as roots of a tree. At every step, we pave the way to success. With mentors and partners, we feel blessed. Into this heaven of innovation and entrepreneurship, let my country awake. Okay, so I hope that's a reasonable approximation of Tagore's famous poem. So first of all, again, the other question which I wanted to end with is, people keep comparing us with Bangalore, and the other major metros. Some of you may recall, there used to be a car rental company called Avis, okay? And Avis's motto was, we are number 2, so we try harder. And please be assured, we'll try damn hard, okay? And so thank you for being part of our journey. We really appreciate all the support we've got from the ecosystem, from every one of you here, from our board, from our investors, from our corporates, and last but not least from the startups. We recognize that the reason for the existence of THub is startups, and we'll do our very best to ensure we create an environment to support you in your journey to scale. So here's to many more years of success, learning and creating a bright future together. Thank you.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.